I got a question for you. Are you choosing out of fear or out of alignment? That simple question helped me change the way that I see the choices and the things that I pursue in my life. And I wanted to bring that up to you today. If you're new here, my name is Candela. I'm a self-love and mindset coach. I do daily videos here in YouTube to help you, inspire you to create a life that you love and that you are obsessed about, and to stay open to love if that's what you are looking for. So if that's the season that you are in, subscribe below and you are welcome to join. So let's go back again to the question. Are you choosing out of fear or out of alignment? That question, it's kind of like the key to start living your life in a way that pleases you instead of maybe pleasing everyone else. And if you have been feeling that most of your life and most of the choices that you made up until this point were determined, not completely, but maybe a big part of them were determined by what other people told you or by the things that you thought you should be pursuing, then this is really interesting because we are making choices every single day, every single moment. And most of those choices are quite automatic. We don't even think about them. But with every choice that you make, you are always choosing from one of these points. Or either you choose out of fear, and fear could be conditioning. Fear could be not wanting to make a mistake. Fear could be not wanting to be fully seen. Fear could be being afraid of what other people will think or would say about you. Fear can come in a lot of different forms. And every choice could be either out of fear or out of alignment. What is alignment? Alignment is love, is joy, is tapping into your highest version of yourself. And I know this might sound a little too woo-woo, but let me explain it. Whether you are conscious of that or not, all the desires that you have deep inside, those pure desires, those come from your inner knowing, your intuition, your inner self. And then we normally have all of these desires that are imposed to us by other people, by our society, by our culture. There are like all these little things that we grab onto as we go through life. And when we start doing things on autopilot, and when we start making these choices in a like automatic way without really stopping and thinking about them, it might come to a point in your life where you realize that, I think most of the things that I have been doing up until this point were not really my choices. Where maybe you got a degree that your parents told you it was good for you. Maybe you stay in a relationship that it wasn't bad, but it wasn't really good, but it was okay. So yeah, you're supposed to be in a relationship, so you just stay there. And fear has a lot to do also with familiarity. Because sometimes we choose the same things, the same patterns, not because they are good, but because they are familiar. And the things that we are used to, even though some of them could be bad for you, are always going to be the easiest things to choose from. That's why when you start realizing those things and you actually want to maybe make some changes in your life, maybe start reflecting a little bit more on your choices and on the things that you desire, not that everyone else told you to desire, That's when this question comes, and it can really help you understand things differently and see things differently. Because anytime that you have a choice and you can ask yourself, am I choosing this out of fear or out of alignment? You can see the two sides of the coin. And the first step into changing anything is to become aware of it. If you are making choices automatically without thinking about them, you're not even aware of why you are choosing those things. And when you start putting this question, that's the first thing that you're going to be able to do. You are going to be able to know and to become aware of what are the things that you are choosing just because you don't want people to get mad at you. You don't want people to say things about you. You don't want to be different. And all of those things that fear has in store for you. And once you know that, then it's up to you. You really don't need to change those choices if you feel comfortable with them. But at least now you know that you're not choosing those things out of love, alignment, excitement, joy. Because that's what alignment looks like. You know, when you have one of those intuition or inner knowing about something and you go and you do it and everything just flows. Everything seems to just go amazingly. Everything flows like one thing after the other. That's alignment. That's what alignment feels like. It feels like everything going, everything flowing, and you don't need to do a lot of effort, to make a lot of effort. Things just flow. And on the other hand, fear, it's quite the opposite. When you act and when you choose from a place of fear, things look harder. And if you have this deep belief like life is supposed to be hard, or I have to work so hard for what comes to me, that might be fear speaking. That's definitely not alignment, because when you are aligned with that future highest version of yourself, you stay in that state of flow, of wonder, of excitement. Fear, it's the complete opposite. Fear looks like effort, looks like battling against something. It looks like friction. And a lot of times, and let me give you an example of my own life. My last relationship, at a lot of points of it, I started asking myself, should I stay or should I go? Should I stay in this? And I knew that every time that I decided to stay, that I say yes to stay, I was doing it out of fear. Out of fear of being alone. Out of fear of not finding anyone else. Out of fear, or maybe that I was asking too much for too much. Fear of being too much. Fear of being unlovable. Every time that I said yes to stay in that relationship that I knew deep down, I knew deep in my heart was not meant for me, I knew I was choosing those things out of fear. That doesn't make it easy to choose differently, but it makes you aware. And you know that saying that says something like, once you see it, you cannot unsee it? That's the case. You start seeing things more clearly. And when that happens once, and a second time, and a third time, at some point, you're going to wake up and say, hey, it's time for me to choose differently. Because I've been choosing the same thing, and my life is not moving forward. Or at least, it's not moving in the direction that I want. It's not moving in the direction that I know I should be heading. in the direction that I know I deserve. So if you are feeling a little bit stuck right now, or like things are not really going the way that you would like them to be, it might be the perfect moment to start using this question. The next choice that you have, the small and the big ones. Am I choosing this out of fear or out of alignment? Just open up to that question and see what comes up.